Hey, what's up, guys? Are you a landlord or rental property owner thinking about self-managing your own rental real estate? Well, before you make that decision, it's crucial that you understand you could be putting your personal assets at risk. Did you know that a single negligent claim from a tenant could pierce through your LLC and actually target you directly? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the hidden dangers of self-managing your rental real estate and share with you a strategy that the smart investors I work with are using to protect themselves. So don't let a simple mistake like this cost you everything you own. All right, let's get started. Okay, so in this video, what I wanted to impress upon you is the importance of structuring your management activities appropriately. Now, this does not apply to those individuals that use a property manager, professional property manager, to manage their real estate. This is for those individuals like my father who likes to self-manage his own property so that he's dealing with the tenants himself. Now, recently I dealt with a real estate investor who had set up a limited liability company and thought, well, I've actually protected my rental real estate because I have this property inside of this LLC. And this investor right here was self-managing his own LLC. Well, excuse me, not managing his LLC, managing the property, because there's a distinction there. So he's managing this property, he's dealing with the tenants, and it just turns out that his one tenant here, she has a problem in the bathroom. Maybe the toilet was clogged up. I don't remember the exact details, but it required that this individual property manager, which happens to be the owner, called out a plumber to come out and address her issue. Well, the plumber came out, looked in, was working in the bathroom, left, reached back out to the owner of the rental property, said, hey, I fixed it. It was a drain plug or something like that. Everything's good to go. A few days later, this individual gets notified that his tenant is asserting that this individual right here assaulted her while he was on the property. So now became that classic he said, she said. And so what this individual has done now is they've named the limited liability company, the owner of the property. And this investor, you know, that's why he said he set up a limited liability company so that if something were to happen, the LLC is going to take the hit. But see, that's not the way it always works out, because there are certain situations where the lawsuit itself can drag in other individuals outside of the LLC. And this happened to be one of those scenarios where not only could this plaintiff sue the LLC, which is the owner, they also brought in the manager, which happens to be the owner of the LLC. Now, how did they bring in the manager of the property? Well, they basically stated the manager was negligent, known or should have known that the individual he sent out there could possibly target this individual and assault him. So now he's being drugged through this lawsuit, personally being drugged through this lawsuit. The LLC is named, he's named, and so the LLC did not provide him the protection that he thought he was going to obtain when he set it up. So why did this happen? Well, it's pretty obvious. The reason why he's involved in this lawsuit now is that he was personally serving as the manager of his limited liability company. And so what you need to do, if you're thinking about self-managing, do not manage your own rental real estate. I don't care if it's held in your own name, it's held in an LLC, it's held in a land trust, it's held in a charitable remainder trust, or it's held in your, well, you can't do it if it's in your IRA, but the fact of the matter is you don't want to be doing it individually because you invite this type of liability. And so this is not piercing the veil of the LLC. What this is actually doing is just naming you as an additional defendant, and they're working around the LLC. So the simple strategy here to solve this problem is that if you want to self-manage, create a management LLC. So here's your property management LLC. You operate under this LLC. So whenever you're dealing with the tenants, you're not dealing with them in your own name. You're dealing with them in the name of this LLC, of which you're just a president, you're an employee, is how you would hold yourself out. So this prevents this type of situation from occurring. So rather than just suing this LLC and suing you, what they're going to do is they're going to sue this limited liability company, and then they're going to sue that LLC up there, because that is the LLC that sent out the plumber that is involved in this claim about assault. Now, in this scenario right here, it's actually played out before with one of our other clients who actually recognized the importance of setting up a management LLC. And a different scenario where someone was injured on the property. Again, it was a shakedown lawsuit. They sued the LLC and they got the property. Then they turned around and they sued the management company. Now, turns out that our client who followed this advice had set up an LLC. They sued the management company, and the client said, "What do I need to do? Should I respond to this?" Now, we're not involved. We don't get involved in litigation for our clients. We consult on it, but her litigation attorney said, "Ignore it." Now, oftentimes when you hear advice like that, just ignore a lawsuit. It probably runs contrary to your thinking. Well, then they're going to get a default judgment against me. And he said, that's exactly the point. Allow them to get a default judgment against the company, but it's not against you. Because the question that he had to ask, and we asked of our client, is, does this LLC have any assets? The answer to that is minimal assets. It had about $3,000 in the bank account. Well, there's the thing. Take the LLC down, take this LLC down, but you're not going after me. So if you're self-managing property, it would make a lot of sense here in 2025 to set up a management LLC to protect yourself, because you just never know what someone may claim when you're renting out property to them. And it's not just them, it could be the guests that they bring on the property. The liability is just too high versus the benefit you're going to have by running your business through a management company. Guys, if you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you're not yet a subscriber, well, you know what to do, because I've been telling you this. By subscribing to the channel, you're going to get notified whenever I release a new video, which I try to put out 2 videos a week. So you'll find out about those videos right away as they get dropped, so you can jump on here and obtain valuable information. The other thing I'd like to tell you is this. Questions. Listen, the way YouTube looks at things, the more questions you ask of me, and I love to respond to them, it drives up the videos as well and gets more views. So, hey, jump on there, throw some stuff into the Q&A. Let's start a conversation about your asset protection planning. And if you want to set up a free strategy session, we can make that happen as well. Take care.